Hello, everybody. How are you today? I'm using the mic on my laptop today, so I hope it sounds okay. I did an impromptu diamond painting session this morning. Got two more sections done, so happy about that. Um, Here we are with our morning musings show. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So let me go ahead and do all the foolish stuff that I have to do. I have to like myself. Let me share this out to the best of my ability. Because on this laptop, sometimes it decides to, I don't know, not save passwords. So here we go. We're going to first put this over in the Twixverse. Uh, and then we will see if it'll let me do it in a post. I need to quit saying do it. That just sounds so crude. Um, so let's see if it will let me post in threads. Oops. So here we are in the Twixverse. So let's see. Okay, so let's go into threads. Oh, come on. Is it not going to let me do threads? Come on. Is that me? No, again, it's making me log in. So we're not going to do post it on threads today. If anybody is in threads and would like to post it, please do. Um, so now we're going to go to, let me get these on my discords here real quick. It is so weird. Well, is it going to let me do it in this? Of course it's not. So now I can't find Discord. So crap. So I won't be able to post any of the food stuff today because it is not opening Discord for me. And I have to restart my entire computer for it to work. So unfortunately, we will have none of the stuff in Discord. I will hopefully save it where I can post them later. So let's first off, today is Aces Day. This is takes place on the first Wednesday in May. Um, so this is uh, called All Children Exercise Simultaneously. That's what ACES stands for. And from National Day, it says twiddling the video game controller, punching air on TikTok videos is the maximum exercise most kids get these days. Project ACES Day aims to change this. In the past few decades, there's been a stark rise in obesity among children and young adults. To reverse this trend, people are coming up with unique ideas to instill healthy practices in kids from an early age. As doing any activity with peers can be fun and adds to the motivation. And Project ACES Day explores this idea to encourage kids to sweat it out. So, because it is ACES Day, and by the way, that was from nationaltoday.com, our poll is about exercise. And here it is. And I forgot to, that's one thing I keep forgetting to do is type the poll in advance. So here we go. For exercise, I like to walk or run, lift weights, calisthenics or yoga. I put Yoda. Or what is exercise? So that is our poll today. So My goodness. So while you guys are voting on that poll, I'm going to say hello to the chat and then we'll continue. We have a Snortopoopas, Q, Burr, hello, humans, and other critters. Hello to you, Snortopoopas. We have a Fallout Dave. I'm saying hello to Snortopoopas and hello to you, Fallout Dave. And earlier I did an impromptu stream and Fallout Dave got some new screwdrivers in the mail and he's been screwing things all morning. We have a buddy. We have a Buddy Hepburn. Good morning to you, buddy. Um, let's see. But we have a Phantom Outsider. Hello, Phantom Outsider. I hope you are doing well. The lovely Sherry. I hope your morning has been lovely also. Let's see. We have hellos and hellos. We have Sashi. Sashi's back. Hello, back. My name is Mrs. Dadman Walking. I used to do that to the kids all the time. They'd go, I'm hungry. And I go, hello, hungry. Nice to meet you. I'm mom, or say my name. But yeah, so welcome back, Sashi. Welcome back. We have a Dad Man Morning saying, good morning, Mrs. Have Fun. That's about all he's going to participate today because he is in classes. He'll get in trouble. We don't want him to get in trouble. So we have a bunch of hellos. And the Phantom Outsider said, I had some smoked salmon for breakfast. I figure I'd become more burr, LOL. I realized yesterday I went on admin leave 9 months ago. I haven't worked in 9 months, and that went by fast. I never not worked that long as an adult. And Soda Poopy says, it's hard to keep a salmon lit. And Soda Poopy asks, is napping considered an exercise? It depends on how restless you are. It says, Phantom says, notice Soda Poopy question, is it hard to keep them lit? You give the salmon a pack of smokes, and when they're done smoking, you eat them. Yum, 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 yum. And we have a Simply Steve. Hey, yo, all you health nuts in here. Would we be called a squirrel squad? I'm getting as bad as Dadman, zipping around different topics. My brain, it's like I start one sentence, I don't even get it finished, and something else is already in my brain. I want to talk about it. Sashi says, I put lift weights, but I also do walk a minimum of 10,000 steps a day, like I told you earlier. I know, that's crazy. That's crazy. But you know what? I'm going to say, I think in Asian countries, I don't know about European countries, probably more so than here in a lot of the United States. It's a walking culture. You walk to the market. We don't have markets. You walk to the market and get your food, for the morning, or you walk to the store. You walk. You don't do a lot of driving, per se. And so, but for me to get 10,000 steps, I'd have to be extremely, extremely deliberate to do it, and just walk around the neighborhood, because I can't even walk to a neighborhood store because the traffic it's not conducive to do. That would be calisthenics and yoga. Story Pippa says, I used to consider vigorous sex to be good exercise, but I'd settle for a nap now. I'm an old burr. And Phantom says, I've become so lazy, I actually dozed off during the earlier stream. I never used to go back to sleep after I got up in the morning. I'm not doing Yoda. No, that's just wrong. I almost typed in Yoda instead of yoga in the poll. And lovely Sherry's, I like yoga. I have done Tai Chi before, and I really like that. Um, it actually their martial arts moves, and it's their program. I can't remember. There's a specific word for it. Kata, I think. Um, and I really like doing Tai Chi. It's very deliberate. But if you isolate like your arm movements and really focus on your arm movements, there's a lot you can work work on doing that. And Soda Pippas likes yogurt. And somebody said, yes, he was nice in Spaceballs, Snorty. And Phantom says, if I were to try to walk 10,000 steps, I'd be polar bear chow. He says, I'm struggling to try to get 1,000 a day in. Buddy says, people here walk from their houses to the car and then the car to their mobility scooters. I will say, I do try to park further out in parking lots. And if my knees are not bothering me, I try to walk upstairs as opposed to an elevator. That's when my knees aren't bothering me. I do have bad knees. Doesn't help that I have a little bit extra weight than I should. Trying to lose that. I'm slowly getting there, slowly getting there. But um, yeah, I'm trying not to be one of those people. But yeah, that's true in a lot of cases, buddy. And we have Penny. Hello, hugs to you, Penny. Okay, we have now gone into the 18 plus. We have now gone into a little bit of the 18 plus here. Yoda, do me you will. Hard you will do me. Sashi said I had to log out and back in, some weird buffering on my end. I'm so sorry about that. Sometimes YouTube can be so stupid. I was not sure if I was going to be able to stream this show. I went to get into the YouTube, my YouTube studio, and it's saying password, do this, do that. And I'm like, oh, holy crap! Thank God I brought my password book. But I'm like, oh my gosh! And it said wrong password, wrong password. And I'm like, what do you mean wrong password? And then it said, okay, now go to your uh, YouTube app on your phone and then press this and then press this. Oh my gosh! I really didn't know if I was going to be able to get on the show today, but I did. Sometimes the security, I mean, I like it, but then I get frustrated with it sometimes. And Phantom says, for long distances, I think I'll probably going to have to get a scooter. Well, you have, I mean, yours is a legitimate reason. Sometimes I think some people just get scooters because they're fat. I had to get a scooter one time when I was um, at one of the parks. I had hurt my foot, and it was embarrassing because I am overweight. And I said, I know people are just looking at me and going, oh, she's just got it because she's lazy. And I wanted to, put a fake cast on my leg or something. So, I really did have an injury that I could not walk, significant distances. But it was hard because I knew people were judging me. I know people were judging me. Yes, um, those that do it out of laziness, Phantom. Yeah. I mean, there are those that cannot, and some of them. There are some that they have hidden they have hidden disabilities. There are people that might have had hip surgery and maybe they're having some complications with it, heart problems. I understand all that, um, you know, but I do know that some people are just lazy and just don't want to walk. And Lovely Sherry says, I have popcorn knees. Oh, I'm sorry. And Phantom says, remember, Snortopoopas, with Yoda, you either do him or do him not. There is no try. So sorry you guys are getting buffering. I'm so sorry. This is Yoda. I'll do my best, Yoda. Show you my lightsaber. I will. We have Connie Claire. How we got from exercise to Yoda being a adult video star, I have no idea. I have no idea. But welcome, Connie. I hope you're having a wonderful morning. Um, we have some highs and highs and highs. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the chat. Oh, you guys have some great comments, and we have lows. Says Phantom says, I know what you mean. I am overweight, but thanks to my much, I have no problems other than allergies and the mobility issue, your hips. Yeah, I'm not doing bad, but I know I can be healthier, and that's my goal. My goal is to be healthier. And Sashi, to counteract the buffering, I'm a few seconds behind, so I'm a little behind, unlike in real life. You're in the future, but you're behind in the future. Uh, Star Purpose asked Sherry if the popcorn these taste better with butter. Yes, Yoda was a little greenhorn dog. Who knew? So, Sashi, did you say you had a little behind, or if you were a little behind? Yoda, it's a tripod. I've so digressed. I've so digressed. Oh. Okay, it is Wednesday, the 7th of May. It's the 127th day of the year. We have 238 days remaining. So, yay! This year is going by so fast, so fast. We have nurse memes today. Why do we have nurse memes today? Well, it's actually Nurse Week, but today is National School Nurse Day. As healers, comforters, and role models for children, school nurses do their job well and rise up to the challenge of caring for school students everywhere. They help improve attendance, enforce federal law, help staff health, and improve academic performance. School nurses don't always get the recognition they deserve. National School Nurse Day was created uh, to give them a chance to be celebrated and to thank them for taking care of our children and advocating for improved health services in schools. So, National School Nurse Day, and because of National School Nurse Day, um, we have nurse memes today. So let's see. And here is just our little introductory. Although blood is red, nurses are jaded. Mess with us, and you'll get sedated. Happy Nurses Week. Yeah, don't piss your nurse off. Don't piss your nurse off, and don't piss your wait staff off. Oh, Sachi says, I'm a little behind in the chat, but not in real life. In fact, most people would say I'm a major ass in real life. And yeah, Simply Steve says, I know what muscle Yoda likes to exercise. LOL, use that force. It's crazy. If I could move, I'd be able to lose, but I have a hard time moving. I think I'd rather have arthritis in my fingers, wrists, or elbows as long as it left the hips. I am getting arthritis and of all places, my middle finger of my right hand. It swells up. I can actually not bend it a lot today. It's very swollen. It hurts a little bit, so it's really interesting because I'm right-handed. So we'll have to modify. I'll be working on modifying how I use my uh, right hand, my middle finger when I'm doing my diamond painting and writing, because I write a lot because I love writing. I love writing. Yeah, it's a catch 22. My knees are hard. My knees hurt. It hurts to do walking at times. But if I lost weight, my knees would not hurt so bad. But I have to walk, you know, I can't ride a bike. That kills me. Um, so it's sometimes a catch 22, but we'll get it. And that man is lurking and snort a poopus. Hello, nurse. And suddenly she says, okay, I'll see myself out. No more Yoda perv comments. A nurse finds a rectal thermometer in her pocket and says, oh, some asshole's got my pen. But I love it. What's not a poopus snuffles in amusement? Perfect. I can give people the finger and explain it away. Well, my mother-in-law, she had became paralyzed, and her left side is worse off than the right side. And her right hand was, in that fist that happens a lot of times. Well, they've been working it and working the muscles and working her hand, and some of her fingers are relaxing and opening up, and it like her pinky finger and her thumb finger, and then her middle finger started, and I just started laughing. I said, "Oh, a grandma man walking. Now you can just shoot everybody a bird and you don't have to explain anything." So the purpose, I saw a bumper sticker said that I'm a veterinarian, therefore I can drive like an animal. So then I realized how many proctologists are on the road. Yes. Oh, pardon me. That's just my arthritis. Yes. Judge me by my size, do you? It's not the size, it's how you use it. So anyway, we have our nurse memes will be for today, but not quite yet. This is just a little intro and precursor. Uh, Buddy, if you could put this link in, that would be fantastic. Theme Park Casual is raising money for Children's Hospital of Orange County through the Talk Walk in the Park, which is presented by Disneyland. This is a fundraiser that has been around for quite some time, so it is a legitimate fundraiser. He has raised $1,195 out of the $13,041 goal that he has. Why 13,041? Well, no, 13,000. No, that's not right. 1,341. Woo! I was just making you like really, really, you know, ambitious, Mr. Theme Park Casual. No, he has raised 1,195 of a $1,341 goal. Why is it 1,341? Well, last year he raised $1,340, and his pledge to the people that have donated, those who will donate this year, is that he will raise his goal is to raise $1 more than he did the year before. So That is why he has that goal. But if you can go over there and support that, it's chalkwalk.org, a theme park casual. Um, Wonderful guy, wonderful fundraiser. So if you can't support financially, if you could share out the link, that would be wonderful too. Yeah, 13,000. Yeah, I was a little, my brain was slower than what I was saying. You know you're in trouble when the doctor gives you a proctology exam with both hands on your shoulders. Yes, be afraid. Be very afraid. God. You would like to support me. You can, there's multiple ways. I'm going to talk about the YouTube ones right now because if you want to support me, you can uh, do it throughout the show. You can do super chats, which will highlight your message and I will read it um, first. I will bypass the others. You can do it through super stickers. You can do it through membership, or you can gift memberships. Thank you, Buddy, for putting that link out for Theme Park Casuals Chalk Walk fundraiser. So those are ways that you can support me through YouTube. And if you like what you see and want to see more, please support me if you can. I am not going to change anything I do, whether you support me or not. It just helps out a little bit. So thank you in advance. Um, and today at 4, we are going to be watching some anime, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and the Cowboy Bebop. Both of those will be shown today at 4 p.m. So oh crap, you know what I forgot to do? I knew I forgot to do something. I forgot to get oh crap. I can't get the Discord. I don't know how I'm gonna get the birthdays today. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. What can I do? How can I get the birthdays? I don't know how to do it. I might have my list. Give me 1 second, guys. Did I bring? Yes. Okay. We're gonna have to do this a little differently today because I can't get to my Discord. So what I'm going to do is let's remove this so I can get it set up first. So I'm going to do this. We're going to move this over here. And we're going to HTTP. At least I do know the which is quite scary, the how to type in. Okay, we're just going to type these in slowly and we'll talk about them. Oh, I've got actually, because I like to write everything down, I actually have a list. So I'll just pull up a web page and I'll just type each name in individually. It's not going to really affect a lot. So, but I don't want to use all the birthdays that are at the site. So here we go. I get my birthdays from thefamouspeople.com. And I get a lot of the facts and information I get from Wikipedia. Yep, I do Wikipedia. So deal, man, deal. Some people don't like Wikipedia. I think it's okay. I know stuff can get changed in it, but these are people's biographies. Hopefully people didn't put lies in there. So here we go. Our first birthday today is Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky. He is a Russian composer during the Romantic period. He was the first Russian composer whose music made a lasting impression internationally. Tchaikovsky wrote some of the most popular concert and theatrical music in the classical repertoire, including the ballets Swan Lake and The Nutcracker. The 1812 Overture, his first piano concerto, violin concerto, the Romeo and Juliet Overture Fantasy, several symphonies, and the opera Eugene Onegin. So, Tchaikovsky. It is Tchaikovsky with an F, Tchaikovsky. Yep. I'm lucky to get the name out. And he died at the age of 53 years old. So we have Pyotr Ilyich Tchaikovsky. And let's see, who is our, we'll type in our next person. Our next person is Gary Cooper. And it's, I believe, Gary Cooper. That's his filmography. Let's just go to him. There we go. Gary Cooper. He's an American actor known for his strong silent screen persona and understated acting style. Let me get some eyeglass cleaners here. He won the Academy Award for Best Actor twice. He had a further 3 nominations, as well as an Academy Honorary Award for his career achievements. He was one of the top 10 personalities for 23 consecutive years and one of the top moneymakers, making stars for 18 years. The American Film Institute ranked Cooper at number 11 on the list of 50 greatest screen legends. His career spanned 36 years. It included leading roles in 84 feature films. He was a major movie star from the end of the silent era through the end of the golden age of classical Hollywood. My glasses are gotten horrific. I'm trying to read and I can't. So we have some a song, I think. So, sorry, I had to get my glasses. But oh my gosh, how much easier it is to read when you don't have crap on your glasses. Let's see some of the films he was in. Oh, he began as an extra and a stunt writer. Let's look at his filmography here. He was, let's see, what some of the ones? A lot of Westerns. He was in Ben-Hur. He played a Roman guard. He was in the Three Pals, The Enchanted Hills, The Six Shooting Romance, and Watch Your Wife. Some of the feature films he was in was let's see. I'm trying to see if there's any that are like The Virginian, The Texan, 7 Days Leave, A Man from Wyoming, and Monaco. He was in Alice in Wonderland, The Lives of a Bengal Lancer, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town. That was a really good movie. The General Died at Dawn. There's just a whole bunch of, here's some more. Meet John Doe, Sergeant York, Pride of the Yankees, For Whom the Bell Tolls. This is, I think, where he was in his crime. Task Force. We're in the Navy now. High Noon. So just a ton of movies. And he was in some short films also. So Gary Cooper. Whoops. Let's get back to him. Gary Cooper, he passed away at the age of 60 years old. Dressed up like a $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like a Gary Cooper, super duper. And Phantom says, I heard Gary Cooper was super duper, LOL. And Simply Steve also sang the song. And Phantom says, if you haven't seen Sergeant York, he was great in that. So we have a Gary Cooper. And our next person, Bingy 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 Bing, Alex. Whoops, I spelled that name wrong. Alex Smith. Well, there he is. Let's make sure that's the right one. Yep, Alex Smith. He is my age. No, he was born in 84, not 64. He is 41 years old. I wish I was 41 again. He played in the NFL for 16 seasons. He won the 2005 Fiesta Bowl as a senior at for the Utah Utes. He was selected the first overall draftee in the 2005 draft by the San Francisco 49ers. So why did I put him in here? Oh, this is it. During his first season with Washington, which he started in 2018, he had a life-threatening injury to his right leg that nearly resulted in an amputation. He was expected never to play again. He completed a lengthy rehabilitation process that allowed him to return in 2020. So he became Washington's starter midway through the season, leading the team to a division title and earning him NFL Comeback Player of the Year. He retired during the 2021 offseason after he was released by Washington. His return from injury is cited as among the greatest in NFL history. He wanted to keep doing what he loved. So Alex Smith, and then we have Owen Hart. I guess you have to look at them as a team. I was going to see if they gave their birthday. Owen Hart, a Canadian-American professional wrestler. He worked for several promotions including Stampede Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, World Championship Wrestling, and the World Wrestling Federation. He received most of his success in the WWF, where he wrestled under his own name and the ring names the Blue Angel and the Blue Blazer. He was a member of the Hart wrestling family. He was born in Alberta, the youngest of 12 children. He was a one-time USWA heavyweight champion, two-time intercontinental champion, WWF, a one-time WWF European champion, four-time WWF World Tag Team Champion. WWF is really hard. He was in 1994 WWF King of the Ring. He headlined multiple pay-per-view events for the WWF. Sadly, he passed away at the age of 34 in an accident when he was entering the ring during a pay-per-view event in 1999. The equipment that was lowering him malfunctioned and he fell to his death at the age of 34 years old. Owen Hart. Then we have Ann Baxter. Ann Baxter is an American actress. She is the star of Hollywood films, Broadway productions, and television series. She's won an Academy Award, a Golden Globe Award, and 2 Laurel Awards, and was nominated for an Emmy. She is the granddaughter of Frank Lloyd Wright, who is an architect. She studied acting with Maria Oispinskaya, um, a Russian actress and teacher. She was in Orson Welles' The Magnificent Seven, Billy Wilder's Five Graves in Cairo. She won an Academy Award and a Golden Globe for her role in The Razor's Edge. She also was in played the title role in All About Eve. Um, she also worked with several of Hollywood's greatest directors, Alfred Hitchcock and I Confess, Fritz Lang in The Blue Guardians, and Cecil B. DeMille in The Ten Commandments. Anne Baxter passed away at the age of 62 years old. And let's see, we have Johannes Brahms. We have two composers today. Brahms was a German composer, a virtuoso pianist, and conductor of the mid-Romantic period. His music is noted for its rhythmic vitality and freer treatment of dissonance, often set with studied yet expressive contraptual textures. I have no idea what any of that means, but he makes good music. He adapted the traditional structures and techniques of a wide historical range of earlier composers. His collection includes 4 symphonies, 4 concertos, a requiem, much chamber music, and hundreds of folk song arrangements, among other works for symphony, orchestras, piano, organ, and choir. Let's see. He did see his music become internationally important in his own lifetime. Most people probably know him with the Brahms Lullaby, which probably has another name. So, Johannes Brahms, 63 years old when he passed away. We have Darren McGavin, passed away at the age of 83 years old. He was an actor, but he began his career as a set painter for Columbia Pictures. He was in the original productions of My Three Angels and The Rainmaker. He also was in films The Summertime and The Man with the Golden Arm. He also played Mickey Spillane's Mike Hammer on television. He starred in Kolchak, The Night Stalker, which good. He had a recurring role in the sitcom Murphy Brown. Some of the films he's been in has been No Deposit, No Return, Airport 77, Hot Lead and Cold Feet, A Christmas Story, Happy Hell Night, Billy Madison. Despite playing a significant role in the baseball film The Natural, due to a contract dispute, he was uncredited for his portrayal of the shady bookie Gus Sands. Yes, Kolchak. And he passed away at the age of 83 years old. He was David McGavin was Mike Hammer #1, and Stacy Keach was Mike Hammer #2. Whoops. It's the old man from A Christmas Story. He also was Oliver Spencer, the agent responsible for Steve Austin becoming the $6 million man after the crash. I didn't know that. I wish that they put stuff here. It's just so hard to find things when they don't put it in lists. But Darren McGavin, 83 years old today. Let's see who else we have. Johnny Unitas. He was the Oscar Goldman of the pilot movie. Darren McGavin was the Oscar Goldman of the pilot. Oh, very interesting. I watched the $6 Million Man, kinda. Um, enough to be able to kind of, we always used to make fun of the, the running sound when he was like running really fast. We'd act like we were running really fast and make the, that noise that they made. We have a Johnny Unitas, passed away at the age of 69 years old. He was a professional football quarterback. He played in the NFL for 18 seasons, and primarily with the Baltimore Colts. Unitas was considered the prototype of the modern era marquee quarterback and is regarded as one of the greatest NFL players of all time. During his professional career from 56 to 73, he set many NFL records and was named Most Valuable Player 3 times. He also received 10 Pro Bowl and 5 first-team All-Pro honors. He helped lead the Colts to 4 championship titles, 3 in the pre-merger era in 58, 59, and 68. He and 1 in the Super Bowl era, Super Bowl 5. His list of championship victories is regarded as one of the league's greatest games and is credited with helping popularize the NFL. When I know the name Johnny Unitas, then he's a big guy because I don't really know a lot of sports people. In between 56 and 60, he set the record for the most consecutive games with a touchdown pass at 47, and that record held for 52 years. He was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 1979. He was one of only 6 players to be named in the NFL's 50th, 75th, and 100th anniversary all-time teams. One of the others being his Baltimore Colts teammate Gino Marchetti. He held the league in fourth quarter comebacks in 6 seasons, more than any other quarterback, and he is credited with perfecting the 2-minute drill. So Johnny Unitas passed away at the age of 69. Yeah, sometimes they do. And this one did. I just didn't want to go to it. But it still kind of irked me. It's just annoying. Yes. Yes, it can be annoying. But yes. Okay, let's see. Who is our next person here that we have? Oops. We have a Breckenmeyer, an actor. He is known for his work in the Adult Swim animated sketch series of Robot Chicken. It's earned him 2 Annie Awards and 5 Primetime Emmy Award nominations. He was in, let's see, what thing shows? He was in the Jackie Thomas show, the Home Court. None of these shows I've heard about. Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare was a supporting role he was in films. He was also in Clueless, The Craft. His breakout role was he played the lead in the 6th comedy film Road Trip. He was also in Rat Race, Kate and Leopold, Pinocchio. He played John Arbuckle in Garfield the movie and Garfield: A Tale of Two Cities. He's also been in Herbie Fully Loaded, Ghosts of Girlfriends Past, Changeland, and Unpregnant. He was in the ABC sitcom Married to the Kellys. He also was in Franklin and Bash, The Fix, Men at Work, and he did the voice role, some voice roles in The King of the Hill. Breckenmeyer, and he is 51 years old today. Breckenmeyer just sounds like a last name. Whoops, spelled that. Oh my goodness, come on. David Tomlinson, an English stage, film, and television actor. Um, he has been described as both a leading man and a character actor. He is primarily remembered for his roles with the Walt Disney Company. He was the authority father figure George Banks in Mary Poppins. He also was the fraudulent magician Professor Emilius Brown in Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and as the hapless antagonist Peter Thorndyke in The Love Bug. He was posthumously inducted in as a Disney legend in 2002, and he died at the age of 83. So David Tomlinson, Disney legend. I liked him in every role he played in Disney. We have Robert Hedges, and I love, I loved Welcome Back, Cotter. I loved that sitcom. It was stupid, but I liked it. And he played Juan Epstein in that sitcom. He also played a detective in Cagney and Lacey, but I remember him as Juan Epstein in Welcome Back, Cotter. Yes, I love that sitcom. I probably should look and see if that's in archive. I need to write that down so I can look and see if it's there because that is going to grab. They're probably so stupid. So stupid now. You look, I probably watch and go, this is the dumbest thing ever. Why did I like this? Hmm. I used to watch this show called The Newsy Review, and I loved it as a kid. I tried watching it as an adult, and it made my brain hurt. It was like my brain was falling out of my ears. Yes, Snowpiercer Cuber, Phantom says, oh, the Thorndike Special was a 1963 Apollo 3500 GT. And let's see. And I think he has in his possession a note from Epstein's mom. I think he found it on a tourist. LOL. Yes. The news, oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was horrible. It was horrible. I forgot. Oh my goodness. And so I'm gonna watch Welcome. I'm gonna see if I can find Welcome Back, Cotter, and see if it's if it is aged okay. I mean, it's gonna be dated to a point. Um, but some stuff can still, even though it's dated, it's okay. We have Taylor Wilson, an American nuclear physicist and science advocate. They achieved controlled nuclear fusion in 2008 when he was 14 years old. He has designated a compact radiation detector to enhance airport security, and he works to expand applications for nuclear medicine and to design and develop modular power reactor technology. And he is 31 years old today. If I'm having struggling reading, my glasses are not cooperating. So if I misread something, I am sorry. I loved the New Zoo review too. Yeah, Freddie the Frog, Henrietta Hippo, and Charlie the Owl. Um, and they look just like the HR Puff and Stuff costumes. Um, I loved it as a kid. But oh my gosh, no, Emma Joe, she sang, and oh my gosh, it was painful. It was the most painful song I'd ever heard in my life. Um, it's just, I, mm, it did not age well in my book, but I loved it as a kid. I loved it as a kid. And we actually had a videotape that had some outtakes. And let's just say Freddie the Frog was a mouthy little frog off camera. Woo! And we got a little spicy there. Some of the stuff with Freddie the Frog and Charlie the Owl. I mean, Charlie the Owl was the spicy one. I'm sorry. Freddie the Frog was just a participant. Yes, Doug. My gosh, that show. Oh, I could see their faces. That's just so. Oh. We have Amy Heckerling, a writer, producer, director. Let's see. Some of the films she directed. Um, well, her breakout film was Fast Time at Ridgemont High. She also directed Johnny Dangerously. That was a funny movie. I believe that was with Michael Keaton. Is it the one I'm thinking of? Yes. National Lampoon's European Vacation. Look Who's Talking. Clueless. Loser. Could Never Be Your Woman. Vamps. She was a producer of A Night at the Roxbury and executive producer on Molly. Many of her films were adapted as television series. And she is, how old is she today? 71 years old. Land of the Lost, I think, you know, you always have to watch them with, knowing what the technology was at the time. Um, and sometimes, even though it might look hokey, it still doesn't look bad. I feel like that the original King Kong, with it's stuff, it's obviously, it wouldn't pass for today. But you look at it, you go, man, this was made in here, and it still looks good. Um, that's kind of how I judge it. Yes, you know that it's not, the most current um, theatrical technology, CGI or whatever, but the craftsmanship, yeah, and you look and you go, wow. And that's kind of what makes me, I'm going to I am going to say a little bit about Star Wars. That's kind of what made me sad when they redid the stuff, because now they have the technology to do it, and they redid, stuff in the original three Star Wars. Is the it made me sad, and that they don't, if they had them both available, I would say okay, but they don't. And you miss a lot there. But yes, I like Land of the Lost. Land of the Lost. Yeah, remember that show? That's one I would watch every week. We have Edwin H. Land. He is a scientist. He passed away at the age of 81 years old. He is best known as a co-founder of the Polaroid company. He invented inexpensive filters for polarizing light, a practical system of in-camera instant photography, and the Retinex theory of color vision, among other things. His Polaroid instant camera went on sale in the late 1948 and made it possible for a picture to be taken and developed in 60 seconds or less. Good night, Snorter Poopus. Thank you for hanging out in my early show and my impromptu show this morning and in this one. Thank you very much. And you have a good nap. I'll be taking a nap after this show for sure. And simply says, Steve says, the costumes of the 70s were flashy, but usable for the time. The details were better then. Yes, I just think, like I said, I always look at the technology and did it age well, knowing when it was made. Let's see, I've lost my pieces. There it is. So we have, next we have, well, is this Lisa Kelly? Nope. There's got to be another Lisa Kelly. Let's, well, I don't know who Lisa Kelly is because this one was born in, let's put Lisa Kelly. Okay. Lisa Kelly, I'm going to write this here because next time if I have to go on here, we'll put singer. Lisa Kelly is an Irish singer, both classical and Celtic music. She was a voice teacher, or is a voice teacher. She was a founding and former member of the musical group Celtic Women. And let's see. What did we learn on Land of the Lost? We learned of a closed loop in time that Marshall family were always going to land, escape, and wind right back there. A closed time loop. They rebooted Land of the Lost in the mid-90s, and they used a Land Rover type vehicle to fall through the Sleestack pylon porthole. No, there was no ladies basketball. No. So that was Lisa Kelly, and our next person is Bruce. No, I'm sorry, not Bruce. Bill Kreutzmann. He is a drummer from America. He's a he's a founding member, everybody. He's a founding member of the rock band Grateful Dead. He played with the band for its entire 30-year career, usually alongside a fellow drummer, Mickey Hart. And he's continued to perform with former members of the Grateful Dead in various lineups and with his own band, BK3, Seven Walkers, and Billy and the Kids. And he is 79 years old today. Billy Kreutzmann. Very cool. Or Billy. It's not Billy, it's Bill. Billy. Billy. Only Billy to his closest friends. We have Dick Williams. And Dick Williams was an American left field third baseman, manager, coach, and front office consultant in the Major League Baseball franchise. He is known especially as a hard-driving, sharp-tongued manager from 67 to 69 and from 71 to 88. He led teams to 3 American League pennants and 1 National League pennant and 2 World Series triumphs. He is one of 9 managers to win pennants in both major leagues, and he joined Bill McKechnie in becoming only the second manager to lead 3 franchises to the series. And in 2023, Bruce Boucher became the third. He and Lou Piniella are the only managers in history to lead four teams to seasons of 90 or more wins. He was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in 2008, following his election by the Veterans Committee. Dick Williams passed away at the age of 82 years old. The slee stack and the altrusion design and costumes are excellent for a 70s children's TV show. Yes. And that's what, like I say, look at the time, look at the genre, and judge it on those merits, um, and not on today's merits, because people look at those shows now and they go, yeah, they're horrible. Oh, they look so fake and blah blah. And you're like, okay, whatever. See if I can find him. Is he there? Ah, yes. Ashiro Honda, a Japanese filmmaker. He directed 46 feature films in a career spanning 5 decades. He is acknowledged as the most internationally successful Japanese filmmaker prior to Hayao Miyazaki, and is one of the founders of modern disaster film. His films have a significant, with his films having a significant influence on the film industry. Despite directing many drama, war, documentary, and comedy films, he is best remembered for directing and co-creating the kaiju genre with special effects director. I literally cannot see this name. My glasses are so bad. Eiji Saburaya. So some of his films, let's look, see if we know any of these films. The Blue Pearl is one that we should know. All Monsters Attack, King Kong Escapes, The War of the Gargantuans, Frankenstein versus Baragon, Dagora, King Kong versus Godzilla, Mothra. So a lot of those. He also collaborated with Akira Kurosawa, who was a very famous director. So Ashiro Honda passed away at the age of 81 years old. Godzilla 54, Rodan 56, and Mothra 61. He's the goat just for those three. Yes. Greatest of all time. Absolutely. So very, very cool. I love finding people that, well, you guys probably know them, but not everybody does. So Ashiro Honda, Carlos Alomar. He was a Puerto Rican guitarist. He is 73 years old, best known for his work with David Bowie from the mid 70s to the early 2000s. He played on more Bowie albums than any other musician. Let's see, who do we have? I was writing a note down. Let's see. Who do we have next? We have a couple more here. Let me get my typing. Oh my gosh, come on. We have a Robert Edward Knievel, or Robbie Knievel. He was used the stage name Captain Robbie Knievel. He was a daredevil. His dad was Evil Knievel. And we have a Grand Pappy Bjorkus Guardian. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for stumbling upon here. I'm so glad to see you. I'm up. I'm in a hotel room. So if it sounds a little echoey, I apologize for that, and I'm having to kind of modify the way I do this morning show. This one is not as streamlined as I normally do it, but we're getting it. We're getting there, and we're having a wonderful time in the process. So thank you. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and hit that like button, and don't forget to vote in our poll. So Robbie Knievel, his last Daredevil jump was in 2011, and he passed away in 2023 of pancreatic cancer. So let's see here. Some of his dares. He did the Caesar's Palace jump to pay homage to his father. He did some kind of dual jump. He jumped 30 limousines. And Evel Knievel was present in some of these to support his son. Excuse me. He did the Grand Canyon jump. A train jump, the USS Intrepid jump, and the Mirage Hotel jump. He also did some performance jumps. So, yeah. So I followed in his father's footsteps, Robbie Knievel, and passed away at the age of 60. We have Wendy Wellen. She's an American ballet dancer, a principal dancer with the New York City Ballet. She performed with the company for 30 years and toured in the US, Europe, and Asia. She's also been an influencer guest artist with Morpheus, the Wheeling Company. And in 2019, she was named Associate Artistic Director of the New York City Ballet. And she is 58 years old today. And we have some, I believe, a Land of the Lost lore. A hotel, let's see. A hotel, how is the trip? I'm actually, Dadman has a work, he is here for work, and I am in the hotel while he is at work. So I thought I'd bring my laptop and see if I could do my streams, and it seems to be working pretty well. And the laptop is thanks to those who supported me last year for my birthday. It allowed me to get this so that I could do streams like this and have access. So you guys, the support really does help, and I do bring it back into the streaming. But yeah, he's at work right now, and so I am in the hotel room. We're in Orlando, and I am not very adventuresome to go out and drive in Orlando traffic by myself, or else I would go exploring. If I had someone with me, I would, but I don't like doing it by myself. So I'm just in here hanging out and with you guys. And so here's some Land of the Lost back lore. So very cool, cool there. And we have some hellos. So she said the third season got bad, but sometimes that happens. They go one too many seasons, one too many seasons, and it's like no. We have our final birthday recipient today, and it is this is right. Yes, Thomas O'Reilly. He was an Irish businessman and international rugby player. Why did I put him in here? Oh, he was a CEO and chairman of the H.J. Heinz Company. He was a leading shareholder of Waterford Wedgwood and founder and major supporter of the Ireland Funds. He was a citizen of both Ireland and the United Kingdom. He was knighted as a Knight Bachelor for his service to Northern Ireland. As a rugby player, he represented Ireland, the British, and the Irish Lions and the Barbarians, and is enshrined as a member of the International Rugby Board's Hall of Fame. In business, he's noted for multiple successful roles and became a billionaire. But then he lost his money. Not quite sure why. He attempted to save the Waterford Wedgwood Group. So some stuff happened there. He has 6 children, 23 grandchildren, and that's about it. And he passed away at the age of 88 last year, a little over a year ago. So Tony O'Reilly, and that is our birthdays today. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Happy birthdays. So yeah, we did that. I'm so glad I brought my notebook that has had all the birthdays in it. So that was good. So yay. Thank you guys for enjoying those birthdays with us today. So what's our next thing? Do we have the puzzle or do we have memes? It's puzzle time, everybody. Time to use your brains. I don't want to use my brain. I don't care. It's time. We must use our brains. So let's figure out how to do this. So we are going to remove this just for a moment and let me find the puzzle. Oh, there it is. So here we go. It's puzzle time. Time for the puzzle. Puzzle time. And I made it pretty big there, so hopefully you can see it on your phones if at all possible. You don't have to use your brain if you don't want to, Grandpappy Porkus. Um, I don't always. Well, I'm actually have this on a 60-foot TV in here. So yeah, I can see that pretty good, but the Wikipedia was kind of hard to read. So here we go. This is Wordle, if you've ever done Wordle, but it's Wordle on steroids. We have 32 words that we have to guess, and we have 39 chances to guess them. The thing is, it will only show us one word at a time. And as we use the letters, they will travel over to the other words. As we play, I will explain it to you. Right now, I'm going to use the word let's get the right. But how do you spell that? M. I'm trying to remember how to spell that. MEAIO. I remember the meow. I said, did I say 60 foot? I meant 60 inches. Well, we can't do, I was going to do meow, but I can't. That was 60 miles. It's a huge TV, man. Huge. We're going to use the word audio because I can't remember any of it. Okay, so The reason I use audio is because it uses 4 of the vowels, so I can figure out the vowels quickly. And eliminate or there if you Maiau. Okay, yeah, man. I couldn't remember how to spell it. So anyway, the I, it's green, so it's in the 4th spot in this word. The O is yellow, which means it's in the word, but it's not in the 5th spot. The letters that we have left are all these white ones. The shaded out ones or the grayish ones have already been used and they're not in the word. So we have an O and an I. We have an E and a Y left over. So let's see, what word can we do here? Um, um, If it's not a word, it turns red. And if you can't, if it's a word, but you can't use it for some reason, it will be yellow. We can't do media because there is no A. And it's needs to be 5 letters. How about Sonic? Sonic. So we look here. The O is in the 2nd spot because it's green. The IC is in the correct spots, the 4th and 5th because it's green. But we don't know what the other letters are. We can use the letters that are here, the white ones, or you can reuse letters also. Oh, I got you. I got you. So let's see. And in between this, I talk about different celebrations we have. We have a National Interpreter Appreciation Day. There are about 6,500 languages in the world, and on any given day, we're bound to come in contact with more than one of them. National Interpreter Appreciation Day on the first Wednesday of May celebrates the experts who connect those who want to communicate, but they don't speak the same language. They also translate for government services, businesses, hospitals, organizations, and more. Interpreters learn many different languages, including Spanish, French, Arabic, Mandarin, Italian, Portuguese, Russian, Japanese, and sign language in many different forms. And that was from nationaldaycalendar.com. That is one of the websites where I get my celebrations from. So we have the word colic. Colic. C-O-L-I-C. Well, let's try colic. And we have an L. So the L has to be at the beginning because it's L-O, because that's yellow. So it's not in that spot. We only have the L up there. So L-O, and then an I and a C. So I think logically, it's a logic. Watch it not be logic. Watch it not be logic. Oh, it was logic. Okay, that we still have an excess of 4 guesses that we can get wrong before we could not win the puzzle. We have an A at the beginning, an L in the middle, and there is an O. The O has to be in the 4th spot because, as you can see, the O cannot be here because it's yellow or here. So that only leaves the O here. It cannot be alone because the L has to be in the 3rd spot. It's the Buford Scale Day. The Buford scale was invented by an officer of the Royal British Navy named Sir Francis Buford. He devised a simple scale that was used to scale the force of the wind based on a point system that started from 0 to 12. And it is widely used for naval applications. So, Buford Scale Day. You have a boat, you're probably happy. Allow, allow from a phantom outsider. I will allow that word, and it is allowed. Then we have an I and an S. The S is not at the beginning and the I is not in the fourth spot. Now that is all that we know. So we also have an E and a sometimes Y vowels that we could still use, which I always try to get them in eventually. Huh. I was going to do rinse, but there's no N. I was going to do like R-I-N-S-E, but there's no rinse. Oh, I have a word. See if you guys can figure it out. Mirth. Oh, that's a good word. It is National Packaging Design Day. This celebrates the art of packaging as well as design professionals. The global design community and those appreciative of beautiful, well-crafted packaging commemorate the day by sharing inspirational designs and exchanging ideas. The day also encourages an awareness of the craftsmanship behind the package. Packaging not only has to, look good, you want it to look good to sell your product, but also it needs to keep the product safe. So there is a lot that goes into packaging. And that was from nationaldaycalendar.com. We have mirth. Well, let's try mirth first. Let's try mirth. It can't be mirth. There has to be an S. There has to be an S. It can't be pithy because there has to be an S. Let's see, what other words do we have here? You meticulously exercise the muscles in my mouth. Wink, wink. So how about this word, guys? First. First. Okay, the ST is at the end, and the I is not in the second spot. So the I can only be in the first or the third spot. Hmm. Well, what could it be? Um, what could this word be? I have no idea what this word is. Oh, I think I know what the word. Yes, exist. Exist, simply, Steve. You are correct. It is exist. We have an L and an O, and we have an S, an E, and an R. The S is not in the fourth spot. The R is not in the second. And that's all we know. And today is a National Cosmopolitan Day. Cosmopolitans are probably one of the most famous cocktails out there where people can go out at night and enjoy a bit of fun at night while dancing, laughing, and singing in clubs. For those delightful people who enjoy drinking a Cosmo, either on a regular basis or just every once in a while, this day is definitely worth celebrating. Okay, so what is a cosmopolitan? So you take in a cocktail shaker, you mix 1.5 ounces of vodka or citrus vodka, 1 ounce Cointreau orange liqueur, a half ounce lime juice, which should be fresh, and a 1/4 ounce cranberry juice. You strain into a chilled cocktail glass, dipped in sugar, then garnish with an orange peel, and enjoy this delicious treat. So National Cosmopolitan Day. That was from daysoftheyear.com. So loser. The word is loser. Lose. Whoops, I typing loser in the chat, not in the puzzle. Loser. Loser. I don't know a lot of cocktail drinks, so I don't know. Is a screwdriver is a Cosmo a screwed up screwdriver? I don't know. I do not drink cocktails. That scared me. So we have an L at the beginning, an S, and then there is an E and an A. So they can be in any of those spots, and you can duplicate letters. Today is the Great American Grump Out. This What sounds like a day to be grumpy is quite the opposite. By kicking the grumpy mood out the window or the door, if yours is too big to fit through a window, you get to spend a day full of happy vibes. Are you out of your favorite breakfast cereal? Well, peanut butter is full of protein. Found a stain on your t-shirt you're planning to wear today? Let's excuse the black t-shirt for a day. A long queue in front of the barista, struck a conversation with the person next to you. You could make a friend. Find the silver linings today because there always is one. So, yes, the great American grump out today. Let's not be grumpy. And that was from nationaltoday.com. Hmm. So let's see. This is name we cannot pronounce this. Only yappies drink Only yappies drink cosmopolitan. We blue collars drink the workman champagne beer. Said the word lease. Oh, it could be lease. You guys figured um, a couple words here I saw, but let's try lease. Simply Steve and Phantom Outsider both said lease. It is has all those letters, and Simply Steve grumble. Eventually, mojito for cocktails. Says a name we cannot pronounce. Get drunk and be happy. If not lease, then leash. I think it is leash. Well, it is not lease. So here we go. It's leash. And it was leash. Then we have an A and then an OT at the end, and there is an F. Today is also World Carnivorous Plant Day. This is from Days of the Year. Thinking of a plant that actually eats meat feels like something out of a science fiction novel or film. And it's true that plenty of fiction has been built around the idea. But the idea of plants that survive by eating insects is actually true and perhaps a little more common than many people would think. World Carnivorous Plant Day is here to raise awareness about and celebrate these unique and interesting plants that take a bite out of the insect population. So World Carnivorous Plant Day. And that was from daysoftheyear.com. A locked. No, the O has to be in the fourth spot. The O has to be in the fourth spot. So how about afoot? The game's afoot. And it is. And we have an LE. There's an O. The LE's at the beginning and O's in the fourth. And there is an N in this puzzle. The N cannot be in the middle. So the N is at the end. LE blank ON. We have a National Barrier Awareness Day. On May 7th each year, we are charged with breaking down obstacles on National Barrier Awareness Day. We are responsible for dissolving stigmas, keeping people with disabilities from advancing in education. It's an opportunity to tear down walls and build ramps that provide access. When we have misunderstandings, see the potential for the development of new technology to bridge the gap. Eliminate antiquated policies, preventing those with disabilities from accessing their full potential. If there was ever a time to speak up about the questionable treatment of a human being, National Barrier Awareness Day encourages us to do so now. Having somebody who is permanently in a wheelchair makes that more personal to me. So we have to, as a society, be aware of that and work toward the goals of making everything accessible, as much as possible accessible to everyone. When we have the word lemon, whoops, once again, don't have a cursor where it should be. LEMON, lemon. And then we have an E in the fourth, and then there is a T, an O, and a D. Let's see, the O has to be at the beginning of the word because there's not the O cannot be in the first, it'd be in the fifth, the fourth, or the second, and the or the third. So the O, it starts with an O. So we have O, then a blank, blank, and an E. Let's see. The D cannot be in the middle. And the T cannot be at the end. What the heck is this word? Octet. It's got to have a D in it. Let's see, voted. Maybe voted. Let me find the puzzle here. Voted. Nope, the V is the O cannot be in the second spot. It starts with an O. It starts with an O. Oh, you ready? Opted. I opted out. I chose not to do it. Opted. So we have the word opted. Then we have an F, an L, then there is a U and an N. The N has to be in the four spot because you see the N cannot be there or there. So it's FL blank N. And we have, I think that's all for that one. It is also National Homebrew Day. This is an event initiated by American Homebrewers Association. It celebrates the art of craft beer creation. The holiday was officially launched to serve as a day to gather the community of homebrewers and craft beverage enthusiasts together to expose attendees to the latest in the world of home brewing. And we are getting lower on our meetings here, our celebrations here. Oh, very interesting. Flunk, 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 flunk. It was flunk. And then we have an R that we don't know where it goes, and a U, an I, and a D. It can be in either spots, and we can't duplicate letters. Still trying to liquor you up. Let's see. The final one we have is National Roast Leg of Lamb Day from National Today. It celebrates and encourages everyone to try out this dish. This mild and tender meat is a unique and tasty dish adored by people around the world. Lamb is a lean red meat full of nutrients like potassium, vitamin B12, iron, magnesium, and omega-3 fatty acids. This generally more tender meat is typically taken from the sheep between the ages of 1 month and 1 year old. So, roast leg of a lamb, and that was from nationaltoday.com. So those are all the celebrations. So we're just going to work on this puzzle here and get it done. Druid, we have a druid. Then we have an E and an S with a P and an A. Let's see, the A is not at the beginning. And the P can be in any of those spots also. Veal is veal, isn't veal beef? So we have an ES and we have a PA. I'm going to try a word Vespa. Vespa. And it was Vespa. And then we have a DIO. And we have an R and an A. The A cannot be at the beginning, so the R has to be here. So we have a radio. And then let's go down here. We have a crowd. I automatically fill them in if there's only one letter and the letter has already been guessed. We have a crowd. We have a gland. We have an AS. And then there is a L. The AS is in the second and third spot. The L cannot be at the beginning. And it could be anything else. Let's look at our poll real quick here. So our poll, the exercise, I like to, for tied in first place is walk or run, and what is exercise? Each of those got 6 votes, and then we had one person that voted for lift weights. So that is where we are with that, with 13 votes. We have 13 votes. We have 613 subscribers. We have 9 people watching, and we have how many likes? I have to refresh it to see. Bumpy dumpy dum bum 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 bum. Oh my gosh, what happened there? It made this really big. That's not what I want. Come on. Oh my gosh. It became humongous. Let's reopen that. That was so weird. Oh, here we go. Let's see if maybe that doesn't do it giant. Oh, there we go. We have 13 likes. Thank you guys very much for that. Let's see. We have Lassie. L-A-S. It can't be Lassie. How about base? No, it can't be basey. Can't be. The L cannot. Can the L not be? The L cannot be at the beginning. So the L Can only be, how about basil? Basil. And then we have a U and an ER at the end, and then we have a T and a B. As you can see, the B cannot be in the first part, so it has to be a T. So we have a tuber. We have toast. We have an A in the second, an O in the fifth, and then we have an H, a C, and an N. The C cannot be at the beginning. The C can't be at the C is, the C is, I don't know what this word is. I think a tuber can be anything that's grown underground. Is that not correct? I'm not sure about that. So we have, I don't know what this word is. Oh, nacho. Correct, Simply Stephen. Nacho. Then we have an S, a P. The E has to be here because the E cannot be here. And then it ends in an L. Nacho. Nacho businessman. Nacho. So we have an SPE spell, correct. And then we have an I in the second, an I and E at the end, and we have a P and an X. According to this, those can be in either spot. So I am going to guess this one for you guys. A pixie, pixie. Yes, Simply Steve. And then we have a recur. Then we have a U and an M. And that's all we have. So using the letters here, it should be fairly obvious what this is. We're going to have two double letters in this one. And one of them is an M. So, and I think it's going to be delicious. A part of the word was already written in one of the chats. Oh, it could be mummy too. I was thinking yummy. Well, let's try mummy. I was thinking yummy. It was yummy. Then we have skunk. And then we have piano. A lot of these, they start filling themselves in. We have a drove. We have an S. And then an A in the middle. Let's see. The R cannot be in the second. The R has to be in the fourth spot. And the R and the W, so the M goes here. So the R has to be here. The M has to be here. So it is so warm. Then we have RA and blank OR. We can use any of those letters or a Q, a Z, or a J. A Z, a razor. Razor sharp wit, razor. Then we have, oh, Snortopoopus. I didn't know he went to bed, but an igloo up in his neck of the woods, an igloo. And then we have a brine and octet. Oh, that's so funny. That word was guessed already in another, for another word. It would have been funny if I put it in. It would have solved it. Then we have a C, and then the H and a P. We don't know where they go. If you look, the P cannot be in the second. The H cannot be at the end. So CHUMP. Chump. I think he did go lay down. I think he did. We have a chump, and then our final word is tenor. Tenor. So we have completed the puzzle. Logic, allow, exist, loser, leash, a foot, lemon, opted, flunk, a druid, Vespa, radio, crowd, gland, a basil, tuber, toast, nacho, spell, pixie, recur, yummy, skunk, piano, drove, swarm, razor, igloo, brine, octet, chump, and tenor. And it took us 30 minutes to solve that puzzle today. Woohoo! You only see your own comments? I don't know why, Steve. I don't know why. That's right. I only see your comments too. Maybe you're the only one that's been commenting. Here, Connie's commented. Phantom has commented. I think you were only commenting there for a while. So Phantom says, chump and loser in the same puzzle. LOL. Yes. Yes. As I always say, in this part of the puzzle, I do edit these to make them a special clip. So once I start doing the memes, if the chat does not have anything to do with the meme, I will wait till after the memes to post them. So I just want to let you know that I'm not ignoring the comments. Some of them, and I might, wait till afterwards to comment them. So just letting you know that in advance. In honor of School Nurse Day, we are going to share nurse memes. I hope you enjoy them. Sometimes I think, screw nursing, I'll just quit and be a stripper. Then I remember I'm fat and I can't dance. That's sad. This should be a sexy nurse for Halloween. First of all, I'm that every day of my life. So there. What did I do? Try to explain to the day shift what happened during the night shift. That is so true. Well, this, and then there was a big fire, and then this, and they're just like, "Mm, I'll figure it out." Yes, Tommy boy. Incoming nurses waiting for outgoing nurse to finish her charting. A student nurse. And I think I figured out why there is a nursing shortage. Long hours and not necessarily the best appreciation. Be nice to me. I may be your nurse one day. Remember, needles and catheters come in sizes I choose. Ooh. She was a scary nurse. When you had too much fun charting, patient believes she is dead. Vital signs suggest otherwise. Tarin does not mean refreshments and narcotics. What? Thought it did. That's the reason I go to the hospital. Because I want the refreshments and the drugs. Yes, this is Nurse Scary from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Yes, she was really scary. When pain is subjective, but Mr. Smith, I'm your nurse. If you insist your pain is 10 out of 10 on the pain scale, then you had better be giving birth because you made me miss my break, my BR break, and now I am really, really pissed. Oh, my bathroom break. I forgot what BR stood for. Yeah, you really better be hurting. I don't get these very often. And then I had to come in here. Really? Who says that nursing is stressful? I'm 39 and I feel great. Wish I could take my family to work so they could see why I'm such a bitch when I get home. Oh, that could just not always apply to nursing. That could be so many jobs, so many jobs. Just three simple rules. All right, I have three rules. One, listen to the nurses, respect the nurses, and do whatever the nurses say. Three simple rules. Oh, I'm so glad the computers are down. And now I can use pen and paper, said no nurse ever. They silently mouth, oh, what the 20 times a shift. And you gotta make sure the patients don't see it. You can't roll your eyes. There's so much you can't do. And as soon as you leave that room, the eyes roll. Oh, sometimes it's just crazy. And then I said, the doctor will be with you in a minute. Yeah, they lie. They say that lie all the time. See, they can get you back into the room, and as long as you're back in the room, they can say that you've been in, you're in on time. Now you sit in the room for an hour. Eh, oh well. And those are our memes for today. I hope you like them. And if you are in the nursing profession, I do want to thank you for your work because I know that you can be disrespected um, and just put upon so often. But remember those that really, really appreciate you and thank you for the work that you do. And these are memes for school. These were because of it was School Nurse Day. But this is for nurses everywhere. Thank you very much for all that you do. And those are our meetings, everybody. And guess what? Our show is over. So it is now time for, you guessed it, shameless promotions. We're going to get done around 2 hours. We're not going to run a little late. Well, actually, the birthday fiasco wasn't as bad as since I had the list. If I didn't have the list, it would have been bad. But I just, instead of just, I usually just put them all on a page of tabs and just tab to them. Typing them in wasn't quite so bad today. Um, so yes, and oh, the point was that she wasn't dyslexic. Is that when you're stressed, you get looking older, and she just looked really bad. So today at 4 p.m. we're going to be watching JoJo's Adventure, Bizarre Adventure, and a Cowboy Bebop. So that is today at 4 p.m. Tomorrow, 5 p.m. or when I get home, because we'll be traveling back home tomorrow. I will be puttering around in Fortnite. I could do anything from a creator made, a Lego battle royale, whatever strikes my fancy, and I'll play for a couple hours on there. Fridays at 1, I am uh, putting the block builds or brick builds on hiatus for a while, and I'm going to be working on Christmas ornaments. I buy these are actually coasters, and I am a diamond painting them because that's what they are, to make Christmas ornaments for our Christmas tree this year. I've already got one set done of horror icons, and I've got the Nightmare Before Christmas, and I have another set of cats. I need to get a couple more sets of coasters for the tree, but I can wait and get them a little later. Or you can go to my throne.com account and pick something out there for me as a gift. So, yeah. Um, Saturday at midnight, we're going to be watching The Dark Crystal, and at 10 a.m., it's cartoon time. Mythic Warriors, Guardians of the Legend, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, Animaniacs, and some classic cartoons. That's Saturday at 10 a.m. Sundays at 3, the Pretender watch parties continue, and Mondays at 8, Batman the Animated Series. These are really, really good. I'm really, really enjoying them. Actually have a show that we're going to watch after The Pretender, so I'm really looking forward to that. And then next Tuesday at 1 p.m., we will be continuing the diamond painting of this gorgeous dragon. I'm so liking what I've got done with it. So that will be next Tuesday at 1 p.m. If you'd like to support me on YouTube, you can do super stickers, super chats, memberships, and membership gifting. You can also buy me a cup of coffee on coffee.com or Throne, my creator wish list on throne.com. Both of those are Mrs.DadmanWalking55. I would like to, at this moment, do a couple things. Before I forget, I want to thank everybody who participated in the chat. We had Snortopoopas Cuber, we had Fallout Dave, Buddy Hepburn, Phantom Outsider, the lovely Sherry, Sashi, Dadman Walking, Simply Steve, Penny, Connie Cleary, and Grandpappy Bjorges. Thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate you commenting in the chat. That does help me, number one, know who's here and get to know you guys, but to also, it does help the algorithm. So I do greatly, greatly appreciate that. If you would like to if you'd like to mail us something, you can at P.O. Box 26603, Jacksonville, Florida, 32226. And Buddy is like, have a great day, everyone. You do also have a wonderful, wonderful day. Let me end the poll here before I forget. So let's see here. Come on, pop up here so I can end it. We have 14 votes. 7 voted for walk, run. 6 voted for what is exercise, and 1 voted for lifting weights. So we have walk, run, then what is exercise, lifting weights, and calisthenics and yoga in that order. Thank you, all 14 people, for voting. Thank you for the 6 that are still watching, and thank you for the 13 likes. Greatly, greatly appreciated. So, whoop-a-boo. You can check out my streams and VODs at youtube.com, Mrs.DadmanWalking, Twitch TV, Mrs. Dadman Walking, my social medias, Twix, MDadmanWalking, Threads, Mrs. Dadman Walking 55, and Discord, Mrs. Dadman Walking. Thank you so much for being here. And as I always end my shows, I will see you next time. And remember to be kind, to show love. You're not promised tomorrow, so go to bed each night with no regrets. I'm checking to see if there's somebody here. Okay. Um, you're not promised tomorrow, so go to bed with no regrets. And most of all, I wish you peace. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time it is in your neck of the woods. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I hope to see you at 4 o'clock for Anime in the Afternoon, where we'll be watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and Cowboy Bebop. So see you later. Bye bye.